you're likely worried about Bitcoin and crypto crashing. I'm sorry for clickbaiting you. Bitcoin did take a little bit of a tumble. That's a little understatement there. But is crypto and Bitcoin really crashing? Maybe. Maybe. I wouldn't be too worried. I'm not worried. From a 1 to 10, I'm a 1 on the worry scale. So literally worried that I did add to my long position at 56.3 like I had sitting there all week, all month. Seems that sentiment has dumped. We saw Bitcoin fear and greed hit 29. Maybe it was actually 24. I don't remember. But it's the lowest reading since 2022. So no matter how you cut it, people are worried. And if you found this channel, props to you. This is the place to be. We are always bullish because over time, Bitcoin goes up. I'm going to show you where I think Bitcoin will bottom if it hasn't already. We're going to go over some altcoins, some memes, everything you love. So welcome back from 4th of July. I know you guys are probably hungover. I'm a little bit hungover. Apparently, it was Independence Day, but that was independence from our wealth. It's okay. We're going to do better this way. So where we stopped earlier this morning at about 54,000, there is a definitive trend line here. If we connect our lows from back in March to May's low, we get exactly where this wick has bottomed out for now. I think over this weekend, likely we'll just see sideways. The weekends have not really brought any volatility, but into next week, I do think we see a bounce. Will that bounce bring us back to all-time highs? It's possible. It's possible. I'd like to see today wrap up about 57,000 or higher, and ideally set it to like 60K. We need some bullish response to this. We're going to get more in depth on these charts, so I'm just going to go over some of the basics here. That is my true belief. I do think we're going to go up into the end of the year. However, if that doesn't happen, at the moment, this daily candle is beautiful. We have a giant bottom wick that extends down to this trend line, and we've seen buyers come in. While that is confidence building, I'm not going to BS you like most channels. This is not out of the woods yet. I still have my long open, but I still have my shorts open. So I'm pretty balanced there. And I wish I knew the future. My crystal ball is broken. Unlike some channels that say they know the future, they must have theirs working. But I'd like to see today wrap up higher off this trend line. So here's the problem. If this doesn't bring us back to the highs, if we don't see some kind of bounce over the next, say, weekend, into the next week, maybe even to the next month, we probably are going to have a pretty choppy few months ahead of us. Bitcoin has a habit of being boring in the summer, and it does seem to maybe be disappointing. No, not disappointing. This is definitely what we could be seeing into a boring summer, unfortunately. However, if we do return to the highs, things are back on track, and we're going to go back into euphoria mode, I guess. That'd be great. That'd be nice. Yeah. How are you guys feeling? Do you feel scared? I really don't. The only worry I have is, well, when things get really boring, sideways bleeding, the channel gets boring. Not as many people tune in. I get it. That's okay. We'll be here when you get back. But that's really my only concern. To see Bitcoin move 20, 30% down from its high is completely typical of a bull market. And it's honestly a little weird that we haven't gotten anything like that yet. It was honestly weird. Now that we have this wick, we're doing a little better. I'm hoping this trend line holds. If it doesn't, we're going to look for our supports lower, where we will likely see Bitcoin bounce. There's probably 2 or 3 points that are going to be logical places to look for a bounce. Like I said, if you're just tuning in, I think we do see one into today or into the weekend at latest, maybe early next week. And from there, we'll figure out what the rest of the year looks like. Now, something to keep in mind is we've been ahead of schedule of the 4-year cycle. We had our halving in May, and we broke all-time highs before the halving. That's never happened before. So possibly the selling now is just some kind of reversion to the mean or back to that normal course. No matter what happens today and really into almost the end of the year, we still have the same setup possible that we've seen every cycle, which is a Q4 rally, brings us to new all-time highs. It could end up looking very similar to 2020 into 2021. So something I want to remind you guys of to have a little perspective. Despite this doomish crash that you guys are tuning in because you're so panicked, we're up 230, 240% from the start of 2023. Think about that. This drop felt terrible. I'm sure a lot of you lost some sleep last night. Hopefully you were having too much fun to notice. But we're up 240%. Get a little perspective here. Things aren't so bad. The biggest threat, in my opinion, is that we just have boring price action ahead. And even that isn't guaranteed at this moment. So every time you start to feel a little panicked, a little worried, take a look at this. How far off of 2023's low are we? At 240%, we have a lot of potential downside to go where we still would be up incredible amounts for how much time has passed. So take a deep breath, relax. Remember, if you're panicking or even when you're feeling euphoric, the opposite of panic, try not to make decisions in that panic. Take a breath, disconnect from your chart, do something else. And if you come back and you still feel the same way, then maybe execute whatever it is you were thinking of. Every single time I have made a panic sell or panic buy, I have ended up buying the top or selling the bottom, just making the wrong move. It's almost magical how accurate you can be at making the wrong choice when you're in an emotional state. So try to clear those emotions. We're going to try to chill, bring the vibe down, just relax, take things logically. And I'm glad you've joined me for this. So if you could, smash the like and subscribe button. We're live here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, every single day for 5 years now. We put out educational content constantly. We have publishes on this channel. So you can check out those free trading guides and lessons after the live. And let me see some stuff. So the biggest concern on my mind, let's start with this. The biggest concern on my mind, if you've been tuned in day over day, you'll know the 200 daily moving average has been lost. That is not a great sign. However, it is not the end of the world. In fact, we have seen this on our ascent from 2023, and you'll never guess the timing. It was in the summer. At about mid-August last year, let's zoom into this time, and let's get rid of a bunch of these moving averages to clear this up for you. If we zoom into last summer, we did some price action that somewhat resembles what we're seeing here today. Somewhat. I've seen people post that this is identical or like a fractal, and I'm going to disagree there, as we had a high and then a higher high before falling. So at the moment, we had a lower high into, what was it? May, June. So it differs a little bit, but the action around the moving average is kind of spooky. We've fallen off and closed days under the 200. While that isn't a bullish sign, it didn't derail the rally last year. We spent, let's see how long, into October. The timing is like perfect. Oh, Lord. We spent from August until October under the 200 day. This is where we saw peak bearishness. People thought that this was the 2019 rally equivalent. We'll take a look at that in a minute. And then we're going to go back to our 15K lows or even lower. However, for the, I don't even know how manyth time, the bears were not correct here. We said nothing basically but higher lows come September, and we moved on to an all-time high. So this, in perspective, is not terrible. It is absolutely not bullish. It's not something to cheer about unless you're short. Congrats, well done. But not the end of the world. Not quite. Let's look at that 2019. So I've been starting to see some rhetoric about 2019 and the similarities. Well, again, to kind of make that distinction, this was not an all-time high. This was 14,000 coming off of a 20,000 high. This is kind of what I imagine, maybe minus the 2020 spike down here, that a boring summer or a boring few months might look like. We hit a high, we kind of tested support, eventually falling below the 200 as we did back here as well, popping up, double top, and into the 2020 crash of everything. So if we're going to be looking at a boring summer, if we're going to be looking at a boring few months, I don't want to say summer because I think that's too time specific. It isn't that time specific. But if we're going to see that price action, we might see something similar to this And I would likely discount that March 2020. Let me remove this from the chart so we can get a better look. There we go. Bring this to the front. Boom. Done. Maybe something like this. This would absolutely grind my gears. It would be painful. It would be slow. It would be boring. A lot of you would check out. That's fine. This seems to be the bull run of boredom capitulation. Instead of the intense pullbacks that we've seen in previous runs where we're seeing 40, 50% retracements on the way up that are bought up and price continues, we're seeing much more boring sideways price action. And both of these can lead to capitulation. Obviously, they're going to look different on a chart and they're going to feel different. But at the end of the day, they're going to have the same goal. And that is to shake out every loose hand before the rally comes. I think that this is pending the next, I don't know, we'll see for the next few weeks if we get a rally where that rally brings us to. But if we don't see any kind of strength, let's say into the end of July, this is probably what it's going to look like. I wouldn't look too in depth at the percent down, at the whatever, even the time length, but price action like this, where we kind of tickle new lows and we keep building that confidence, building that hype back up just to dump back down again, and then eventually end up moving higher. I think that is very much what we could see happen in the boring scenario. I'm still praying, hoping that's not happening. Benjamin Cohen tweeted this, and so let me see if I can actually find where he did this, because now it doesn't look right on my chart. Something like that. Benjamin Cohen tweeted a descending trend line, and I actually just showed you it earlier. I like it. We have found support there. Something like this. Something like this. Our lows connect, and we continuously test them, but we're unable to set new highs. So what we're going to obviously be watching out for, and I think this goes without saying, is if price action fails to hit higher highs, maybe we see 60K come back down to the trend, that is not going to be bullish. That is probably going to be indicative of a boring time ahead. That's going to be kind of my line in the sand. I do want to see how this week settles up, even how this day settles up. Though price is not moving much right now, it certainly has. Let me see this wick. I didn't even check the wick percent. There we go. 6%. That is not bad intraday. About 6% up from our low today. The 200-day sits right up here. And actually, we can take this from the wick low back in June. They're the same price virtually. Boom. 58.4, something like that. Any candle closes above 58.4 are now going to be rather bullish. If we see this weekend, obviously even today above there, I think we're going to be in for something different, something that people are not expecting. I will personally speak, and you guys should know, and you do know, that I am a perma bull. I short, I long, price doesn't just go up, but long term I'm always bullish, and I do tend to battle the bears here. But knowing that context, on Twitter, on YouTube, looking at thumbnails, looking at titles, looking at the rhetoric people are using, it does seem like all the bullish people have flipped to bearish now. And if they aren't long-term bearish, at minimum, they are expecting to see lower prices. Those lower prices also are starting to kind of creep down the chart. People were thinking like 56, 55. Now that we've hit 53, I'm starting to hear again talk of revisiting these lows. If you were tuned in, I want to say earlier last month, I talked about retracement if we're going to go lower. And a lot of people said they did think the chart was going to go lower, and you were right. But they were thinking up here. All the responses in our polls, all of the feedback from you guys was like 40 to 50 Ks. There wasn't even that many down at 40. And I said, that's not great, honestly, because once we start seeing retracement, the bullish signal for me is going to be that return to the mindset of back to the lows, back to like under 15. Even the talk of zero. I have heard people say Bitcoin's going to zero more than a dozen times today. Sentiment has, in my opinion, at least for now, successfully flipped from bullish to bearish, and that does tend to be the time that we get crazy reversals. Same is true vice versa when people flip from bearish to bullish. we tend to get crazy reversals. It would not surprise me at all, as I've been saying, to see it, even today, price move back up to retrace, maybe to 58.4 back to the 200-day. Let me see this week. Let's look at some downsides. Let's look at where we might find major support below us. So let's zoom out, as we always do. We're going to zoom out. We're going to get perspective, because we aren't going to try to scare you. I saw a creator. I just want to share this quick. I saw a creator on Twitter. I'm not going to share the name because we don't have any need or gain talking crap on others. But it was just funny to me. Over the last 3 days, I've seen them doom posting, just like Mt. Gox. Oh, I'll tell you about Mt. Gox too. Mt. Gox, German government, U.S. government, selling, blah, 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 doom, Bitcoin, all this stuff. And then today, I saw them tweet something along the lines of, you shouldn't panic. If you're panicking, you shouldn't panic. We've seen many retracements in Bitcoin, and it like detailed some stuff. And it's like, dude, you just scared your audience. Why would you then be like, why are you panicking? How is that logic connecting in your brain? I don't know. I'm ranting. We'll get back to this chart. It's just funny to me. It's like, dude, that's what you're doing. Why are you surprised? Anyway, looking at our big retracement here, we still, despite the spooky sell-off, guys, despite the spookiest of sell-offs that a lot of you have ever seen because you're new in crypto, we still haven't begun retracing. From our 2023 low, we are not in retracement until we hit the 236, which is the most shallow Fibonacci retracement level. That's at 50,900. So even on this spooky low, we're still like 10% above a retracement level. I don't know, man. I'm not going to get doomish until we're lower, and I'll never get doomish, but I won't get doomish until we're like under 50.9, until we've at least begun retracing. This is, though, a zoomed out look. This is a bigger, more macro picture, and so it does not imply that we will or won't trade below there. It's just something to keep some perspective on. Below us, we have, let's see. I think I want the month. I think I want the month for this, right? Maybe. Yeah, maybe 42. Let me see. Thought that was a red candle. Yeah, good enough. I'll say here, but let's just move it down to our fib level, because why not? 40.5. So we got 50.9, 40.5. That'd be the 236, the 382. All the way down here at the 0.5, which I believe is an unlikely place for Bitcoin to bounce. I'll tell you about that more later. But 33.8, and then our 618 retracement. All the way back to October of last year's, let's see, low, whatever, high, 28.1. I'll tell you what, as someone who's been in this game for years, this is one of the more painful bull runs because, like I was saying, it's so boring comparatively. We had two bursts of excitement. That excitement burst was basically October last year into maybe the start of this year. The ETF approvals came, sentiment chilled out, price went down. We had an explosive rally into March, and since then it's been a ghost town again. This is the least exciting so far bull run I have ever seen. It's kind of weird. It's pretty weird. To add to that, as someone who's been in this game a long time, I am still really not interested in buying Bitcoin at 50.9 thousand. That doesn't mean that it isn't a good decision for you. Of course, you need to make that decision. Your financial situation, your portfolio, it's going to be different for everyone. But for me, as someone who's been in this space a long time, and I know a lot of you guys out there have been too, I'm really not interested at 50,000. We had a year plus at 50. We had basically 3 years below 50. If you're interested in buying at 50, good job. I salute you. Good. Keep stacking. But this is just not a scary level for anyone who has been in the game a long time. I'll tell you where I will buy. If we see Bitcoin trade all the way down here, if we see it trade all the way down here, 32,000, I will put a sizable amount of money into Bitcoin again. Pretty much anything I've sold or taken profit on, I'll put it back in here at 32. If that's not the bottom, God help us. If that's not the bottom, which again, we're just talking about theoreticals here, not even predicting this will happen. Bitcoin has a habit of never letting me buy it again. 32, that's when I'll start to be interested. Below that, if we lose 32, I won't be interested in buying Bitcoin until maybe down here. 14K? Hey, eat out of your butt. Professor Beans is eating her booty. I don't think so. 14, 10,000. If this ever happens, and mark my words, no, I won't say that because those are famous last words in crypto. I don't believe we will ever see these prices again. I don't believe we'll ever see 15 or 16K again. But in the crazy scenario, because nobody saw March of 2020 coming, let's say we do get a boring sideways period here, just like in 2019 into 21, and somehow we get some black swan, right? There'd have to be something pretty intense to give us a move like this. Maybe that could bring us to those levels. If we get that, I will be 100% all in, period. I will have no sideline cash. I will take that gamble. Absolutely. I just don't think I'm that lucky. So for now, I don't know, man. We're lower than we were, and I think what we're really experiencing, and we're experiencing this together, is this excitement fizzling out. No more highs, no more all-time highs, just sideways, down. This break of our structure here that we've established over the last 100+ days, it feels bad to lose because it feels like what we want has gotten farther away. It feels like that target you had is now maybe never coming, or at least delayed. And that's a terrible feeling. I can side with you there. But in reality, the opposite is true. The opposite sounds crazy. We were not, it's possible, but in general, we don't just move up from something like this. It happened on the ETF, but we rarely move to new highs without sweeping lows in our liquidity. I remember back here in May, I was talking about this and we rallied back to the all-time high basically, and people kind of made fun of me. They're like, you were wrong. That aged badly. Piper, man, you got to pay the piper. Here we are. We've swept the lows. We could now see a move back up and new all-time highs this month even. I tweeted that we could see new all-time highs on Bitcoin this month. That was before this drop, but it still hasn't changed my mind. In my opinion, we were not going to see a new all-time high until we swept our lows. I got excited there for a little bit, I will admit. Got excited there in June for a little bit when we got back up there. But in general, we sweep the lows and then we move up. The exact same thing happened back here with the ETF. Swept the lows, boom, moved up. This is just how Bitcoin seems to traverse the chart, right? The more volatility we get, this was the big picture zoomed in here. The more volatility we get, so even if we see more dumping, the closer we get to those goals. No, it sounds crazy. No, it does. But sideways, boring, it really ends with a move down if you're looking for up. And usually it ends with a move up if you're looking for down. So try to battle that feeling you're having with, I guess, just my kind words. And maybe you're trusting me. That moves like this, they can suck, but you are getting closer. No one knows when the all-time high is going to be the next one. No one knows when we'll bottom out exactly. But I can tell you with 100% confidence that both of those values exist to the right on this chart. I don't know what day, I don't know what month, I don't even know what year, but to the right. So try to eliminate that feeling of moving farther away from your goals. You're temporarily, on paper, farther from your goals, but in reality, you are closer. There we go. That was pretty good. I stumbled a bit, but that was pretty good. I like that. That was heartwarming. Let's go down to some low time frames. Let me orient this compass down to the 5-minute. We have seen not super bullish buying, I'm not going to lie. This is not the most bullish looking thing. You hit a low, you traded sideways for a few hours, you move back up. But we are moving back up, and that's good. We're about 6% from today's low. We're at the 618 from our local fall, what? This was all today. No, that was on the 4th. at 22:05. Okay. I had a few drinks yesterday, so I don't know exactly when things happened, but that's okay. Looking locally here, we're back to our 618. So despite this move up, I don't know if like ripping a long is a great idea. I don't like to go long right at 618 retracements. Let me see. But at least we've freaking bounced somewhat. Let's see our indicators here. Money flow on the 5, meh. RSI on the 5 also meh, but something I've been bitching about for days and days is RSI and its trend, or it's kind of, it seems to be stuck under 50 on almost any time frame you look at. So we are on the 5-minute time frame. This is a small one. This is not something to really look forward into the future with, but hey, I'll take it. The 5-minute, at least off this bounce, seems to have a bias to the upside on RSI. This is what you want to see after a sell-off. This is what you want to see in any market, that you're hoping price goes up. It's taken little dips under 50, but it seems that buyers are coming in each time that RSI is reset. So I'm going to take that as a nice little signal for now. Let's go into some other time frames. Go down to the 10. Actually, let me check this one. Keep the 1 quick. Okay. All right. So here's a good example. This is a lot of the drop here. This is a 1-minute time frame. RSI, big bias under 50. It takes very brief moves above 50, gets sold back off. Let's see where our low is. Our low is right here. I like this concept. People don't talk about this with RSI. I don't know why. Maybe they don't know. I kind of made this up. Made up a lot of the analysis. That's what analysis is, pretty much made up anyway. Lows here. Okay. Right here is our current intraday low, our lowest point in a few months. Look at how RSI from the left to that low to the right has changed. Bias to the downside. Yeah, there was a little bit here as price moved sideways, but now RSI does seem to be keeping up or keeping above 50, giving us an uptrending signal. I like it. I like it. 15-minute. All right. All right. RSI nice and high. 15-minute money flow just rolled over. VWAP at 0. Green dot of momentum. Not bad at all. We might see some more upside today. I'm not done, but we might see more upside. 30-minute rolled over as well. Same timing as the 15. A little uncomfortable. You can see here, perfect. Under 50, right? From the 1st of July, which is we were selling off, price was moving down. RSI could not make a move above 50. Boom. Off this bounce, here's really the first time we have moved and sustained above the 50 RSI mark. I like that. That's a nice little uptrend. Damn, you can really see it on the hour. Slowly rolling over. It's hard to trust, though. You've broken our trust so many times, Bitcoin. Is this time for real? Damn, really oversold on that sell-off, on that drop. I didn't notice this. I'm learning this for the first time, too. Bullish engulf off of that 4-hour, off of our low here, off of our low trend. Closed our 4-hour candle an hour and 31 minutes ago at the 618. Kind of a sketchy place for that to close, but so far so good. We have a bottom wick candle body still green. Let's look at our bigger retracement from our local high. Boom, down here. Kind of like this. 200 4-hour moving average coming down to the 618. 64.2. 64.2. Is that where our daily is? Where our daily is? Kind of. I think I'm grasping at straws if I'm going to say these are at the same point. They're not. They're not. Kind of in the middle of no man's land. I don't know how I feel about this. What's up, Anthony K? I see you, my friend. Joash Paul, I see you subscribed as well. I'm in the zone. I'm just like trying to keep my wits about me on the 5th of July. Pierre, 6,200. Juicy, J-U-Z-Z-Y, subscribed. If you're out there and you're not subscribed to this channel, it's free. It's a good ROI. Cost you nothing. You get free content. You get free live streams. You get free educational content. You should join the Discord. You should subscribe so I can shout you out. You'll also make this little ticker roll over. It's very interactive and fun. It's a great time. You know, I just had a ADD thought here. Been waiting for these prices so freaking long that it's like things are just going off in my brain. Like, yep, weekly 𝐒𝐽 right here, 56,000. I think that is where I would like to see this weekly wrap up. Over the weekend, like I said, if you missed it, likely going to see some sideways price action. I would love to be wrong. We just haven't seen a volatile weekend in a while. 𝐒𝐽 on the week right here, 56, holding this would be the bare minimum of good for me. Bare minimum. We did lose this. Ooh, actually very similar here. More similarities, geez, to August. We dumped through the TK and hit the 𝐒𝐽, closed above it, traded sideways and below as we got the cross down in the cloud. Poop popped out of the cloud here on the week. That wouldn't be bad. I think on the month we also have something here. Boom. This is the Hopium we need. It's the Hopium I'm going to smoke right after the show. TK on the month at the bottom of this wick, man. If we don't trade lower than 53.6 this month in July, I think that's our bottom, honestly. I'm going to move my stops. I'm going to move my long stops underneath this wick today after the live. If we do trade lower, monthly Ichimoku cloud points to 44.7. That's pretty close, I'll say, to that monthly efficiency and price on our chart right here. This isn't the strongest, most confident efficiency on the monthly, but it does have a bottom wick and a top wick. That does show us the market did not move in just one direction, similar to how it did in February. You know what really trolls me? June's close, man, this had to be so manipulated, but I hate the word manipulated. Markets aren't manipulated. Markets are. They just are. Manipulation is nothing. But I digress. We had such a good close. Like the 6-month closed in June, as June closed. Highest 6-month close. The 3-month quarterly closed looked very similar to July. Not July, to July 23. After back testing that quarterly resistance from 21, closed up, then the monthly closed up above the previous week open, which had been struggling to do. And then the weekly even eked out this local weekly support close, and then it just didn't matter. And then the next 5 days it just sold off. That's so annoying. It maybe is a learning lesson though. A lot of people you'll see that don't really understand analysis, maybe will come into this channel even, or you'll see them somewhere else and they'll say, TA doesn't work, TA is astrology, blah, blah, blah. That's because they don't understand what work means. TA works, but TA doesn't tell you the future. It is not a crystal ball. You look at probabilities, and sometimes, and I say this a lot, even with the best setups, like that 6-month, 3-month, 1-month, 2-month week close was good, it doesn't always guarantee that the next move is going to follow suit. TA is always about probability. No matter what happens, no matter what you see, no matter what signals, there's no such thing as a 100% trade. No trade is ever guaranteed. And if you ever found one, which doesn't exist, but if you ever did, go all in 1,000,000x with all your money, right? It's guaranteed. The problem is, by the time it's executed, you'll find out it wasn't guaranteed and you'll lose all your money. So don't do that. It's just not a real thing. Here we go. Battling with yesterday's low wick, our 618 retracement of that fall. Not bad, higher high. What do you guys think? I think we go higher. I'm not really seeing it on indicators or anything, but just looking at how we've fallen fallen. I think we see more of a bounce. I mean, this isn't a high target, but like 58.4 back to June's high or June's low. Let's see, something like that. Even if we did this, I still think we see at minimum a little bit higher move. I think that's likely to happen today and maybe this weekend, but I guess Monday at the latest, something like that. We just haven't seen real retracements. This fall has reminded me, honestly, a lot of 2022 in ways. I don't mean to fudge you out here, but 2022, we had so little bounce on every drop. We would just drop sideways. And that's kind of what this is reminding me of. Kind of. Just statistically, in my watching of Bitcoin, it's unusual price action. There are a lot of different mechanics at play, and I think if you wanted to argue it, you could say that we have inverse mechanics at play right now versus 22. We had FTX selling, we had all kinds of BS cascading liquidations from that, BlockFi, Celsius, Three Arrows Capital, I can't remember them all by now. Now we have ETFs, we have, I don't know, Sailor's still buying, that's the same. We got a lot of kind of inverse 22 mechanics here. I don't think we're going to see price action like 22 again. I think the next bear market will look very different. Oh yeah, I wanted to tell you about Mt. Gox. So I'm very distracted today, but I appreciate you joining and sticking with me. Mt. Gox, people are worried about it. So let's go over some facts here. Mt. Gox started with, I think it's 950,000 Bitcoin. They are now distributing 140,000 Bitcoin. That means that roughly 800,000 Bitcoin between then and now have already been liquidated, have already one way or another, whether it was like lawyer fees or management. I don't really know what they did with all these funds. I don't really care. That's already happened over the course of this time. So now they're just stuck with a small piece comparatively. This small piece comparatively is going to some very specific people. So a lot of new people aren't going to know this, but if you were a victim of Mt. Gox, you've been waiting 10 years. But during those 10 years, you have had multiple opportunities to settle in cash. The people who are getting their payouts now are people who have opted against that, and they wanted their Bitcoin. They wanted a Bitcoin payment back. They didn't want to settle for cash. So the people getting it not only have had Bitcoin at minimum 10 years, whether it was forced held by Mt. Gox or not, likely they were in it before them, but they've had it. They've been in the space. They've seen the chart. They know how this moves. And on top of that, if they were paper-handed and they wanted to sell it, they would have just settled in cash already. They wouldn't have had to wait this long. So the people getting their Bitcoin are not incredibly likely to sell it, though of course some will, but they're not like itching to sell it. They could have already done that. On top of that, I don't even think payments have started being issued yet. And look at what the chart's done. We talk about this concept all the time on this channel. When we get news, it tends to be kind of after the fact of the price movement. So as soon as these distributions start, I think locally the low is going to be in. That just tends to be how it works. Almost never in the history, and I want to say never, but I'll say almost never because maybe there's something. Has there ever been a news event and then all of a sudden Bitcoin's price follows it in whatever direction, whether it was bullish or bearish? Never happened in my experience. 8 years watching these charts, never seen it happen. Not even once. Something tells me once this distribution starts, we'll see the price move back up, at least intra-month or something like that. A few more things about Mt. Gox. Let's see. 140K Bitcoin is roughly 6% of the daily volume, traded volume for Bitcoin. A lot of people are downplaying that number. I think that's disingenuous. That is a lot. That's still a ton. 6% can have a much bigger impact than people are making it seem. However, the distribution is also not a lump sum. It's not to one person, right? It's not to one actor who could just sell it. This is something that's going to kind of trickle out and bleed out as they distribute it to different people and different wallets. Some people may have lost interest in their claim. They're only getting about 16% back. So if they had one Bitcoin, they're getting 0.16 Bitcoin. which is still hefty. But this is not going to be a instant event. This isn't like they're going to distribute it on Monday and everyone's going to have it Monday and it'll like be on exchange or something. It isn't like that. It's going to be over time. And if we look back at the last 10 years, they've already gotten rid of 800,000 of it. I have no idea how. I should look into that after the live. If you want to be bearish, if you feel the chart is bearish, that's fine. And you have logic there. This chart is certainly not bullish right now. Zoomed out it is, but zoomed in it's not. There's nothing wrong with that. Just don't let the narrative be the reason that you sell. If you believe in Bitcoin, Germany selling 𝐿 𝐂𝐚𝐫𝐿, the US, none of that matters. Those things, honestly, in the big picture, are going to be irrelevant. They might be relevant right now, might be relevant for months to come, but they are not important big picture. I promise you. Promise. All right. That's enough ranting from me. It's plenty. It's been 40 minutes. Holy hell. I'm sorry, fam. I haven't even read the chat. I can't believe anyone's still here. That's wild. It's been 40 minutes. I've just been in the zone. Let me see who's here. If you're here today in this live stream, if you can hear my voice, can you put a message in the live chat? Just say hello. I want to see what we're feeling today. I want to get the vibes. I'll give you guys a second to populate the chatters list. We got a few chatters, even though I've just been rambling. I appreciate it. But I'll give you a sec. Put something in the live. Let me shout you out. You're not subscribed? Great time to do it. Rohit subscribed. Krishnaraj subscribed. Anthony K. Other good names. You can join them. I see some names. What's up, Boxing Focus? Cap or Die. 𝐒𝐈𝐆𝐍. Alex, what's up, man? Brick and Mortar, Justin Hege. You guys are over on the mobile stream, just so you know. Just FYI. If you're on your phone, that's good. You can jump over, join the main one. There's more chatters. On the main stream. Here we go. Now you guys are putting something in the chat. What's up, 𝐂𝐴𝐲? I see a lot of familiar names. How are you guys feeling today? AC Slater. How you doing, bro? Aimress, Agenda, B Frank Crypto, Bean Juice, Bond, 𝐂𝐴𝐲. I like 𝐂𝐴𝐲. I didn't FUD 𝐂𝐴𝐲. I could have while talking about 𝐿 𝐂𝐽, but I didn't. But now I want to. I don't want to actually FUD it, just the reality. So something, yeah, I'm going to say it. Sorry, 𝐂𝐴𝐲. This is reality. We stick in logic here. I won't make an opinion call on it. 𝐿 𝐂𝐽 happened 10 years ago. The BCH fork happened about 7 years ago. So the 𝐿 𝐂𝐽 recipients also haven't, like, essentially an airdropped or a forked BCH equivalent. The BCH equivalent that's being distributed is a much larger percent of daily volume. It's about 20% versus Bitcoin 6. That's it. Oh, well, yeah, I'm not going to throw any opinion on that. I'm just going to leave that there. That's just important information. So it's more than just Bitcoin. And it's not even just Bitcoin Cash. There should be, in theory, many random forks that have happened since then, but I'm sure they won't distribute them, mostly because they're worthless. Mostly. What's up, One House Productions? Derek Merrill, you're over there on the mobile stream. Appreciate you, man. Ace Crypto. Let me see. Ace of Hearts, my guy. How's your July 4th? Better than your July 5th, I assume. All right, we got man, I can never say your name. Berengar. Is it like Gengar, but with a Burr? Berengar Crypto. What's up, bro? Big Panda. Bram. Boosard. Ryan Ferris. Brian K. Colin Klopper. Calling Oz. Kaz Bundy. Clicker 101. 𝐿𝐴𝐽𝐧. Crypto Baby Face. What's up, Crypto Baby Face? Crypto Shaped. Crypto Corvette. Crypto Kitty. Dan Dykens. David Gelfand. Demiris. Energetic Giraffes. I swear some of you make these and it just is like tongue twisters for me. I appreciate it though. I notice. Fazal. Fifi Eth. Folsom Hodel. Gabe. How you doing, Gabe? Gixer 410. Gregzilla is gracing the chat. How is Gregzilla? High Frequency Music. J Day, my guy. Ryan, John Ryan, Joshua Carrero, Justin Hege over on the mainstream. Well done. You're good at directions. Kate Johnson, Chris Pax. How you doing, Chris Pax? Are you bearish or bullish? If you're bearish, get out of here. I'm just playing. Local leg, Long Mountain, M Stone, make money. Marcus, make money. You hear the entire stream. Kudos. Mary Flores, Mary Beth, my favorite Mary. Sorry, Mary Flores. Also here since the beginning. Cheers. Mass Med, Matthew Dibondedo, Moggy Games. How you doing, darling? Morrow L0. Mike Bennett, MMS, Moneymaker, NBF Forum, No Way Man, 𝐒𝐈𝐆𝐍, Panda666, sick. That is a tongue twister. 𝐒𝐈𝐆𝐍, Free Will, Poncho Villa, proud to be US, Quarter Crawler, Ricardo, 𝐒𝐈𝐆𝐍, Rick Gurley, S Broken, Shipwreck, Sir Thomas, Smart Trader, Stealth Ninja, Sin, my guy, Taurus Hammer, Tech and Crypto, Tell One, The General, Pickle, my right hand man, Tillin, one of my favorite mods in Discord, Tor Crash, Up and Run, V Monitor. Wow, there's a lot of people here today. Ward Lemons, William Nad, Yanix, Zoom Out and Smile, Horcrux. What's up, guys? That took forever. Today's your birthday, Brad Garlic House. Happy birthday, my friend. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to everyone whose birthday it is. How many viewers we got? We got like 400 viewers. Crazy. We only have 400 viewers. We have like 100 live chatters. I love it. Bean Juice. What's up, Bean Juice? How you doing, bro? Altcoin dominance. Isn't altcoin dominant? Altcoin dominance would just be Bitcoin dominance minus 100, right? Welcome back to the arena. Thank you, sir. Thank you. That would just be Bitcoin dominance minus 100. Right? Right? Because Bitcoin dominance, it would just be without Bitcoin, 100%. Let's look at Bitcoin dominance quick. We don't even need to minus 100 it, actually. We just need to invert it. That would, is this correct? Is this what you're looking at? I'll see what OTHERS.D is. I've never looked at OTHERS.D. Ha! You better not be pranking me. But I am going to go prank other people and suggest they look at OTHERS.D. That's funny. Okay, total crypto market cap excluding top 10. Interesting. They just keep moving that bar. Remember when they made total 3, like Bitcoin minus Ethereum. Just keep moving that bar minus the top 10. I've never seen this chart. Immediately, what stands out to me is this looks just like tether dominance. It looks like identical, doesn't it? Let's see. Let's pull it up. Maybe not identical. Maybe not identical, but damn similar.
OTHERS.D. Bullish recovery. Daily just flipped green. Also, welcome back to the arena up triangle.
That took forever to read. Wow. I thought my headphones had turned off. That took forever to read. Others dominance. Others dominance. These look very similar to me. I do see some differences though. Let's get a trend line on this bad boy. Okay. All right, trading view. Here we go. Slap a trend line on that bad boy. This chart can have so many trend lines, but here we go. Something like this. Okay. You got a green day, but you got a long way to go. Got a long way to go. That 6-month close was brutal. So like I said, I've never looked at this chart. People who have, what value do you get from this? Like what exactly, I don't know, what are you divining from this really? Not a judgment, not making fun of you. Curious though, like you're excluding the top 10. So when this goes up, are you thinking that your coin goes up or like something else is in the top 10 goes up? Because it's not exactly true. And I think you'd be better served just looking at the own chart of the coin, right? I don't know why I would use this, but I've never seen it. Kind of a gnarly 5-0 here. You fell, you rejected from the 0.5. If you lose this trend line, you're going to see some real pain on this. That would be a very bearish 5-0 here. 5, move down here. Let's see where we're at. I'm just not sure how I would use this to trade. That's kind of what I'm thinking here. And if there's a way, if someone's trading with this, I'd like to know how. I'd like to know what's good with it. 618, higher low versus last month. Okay, here's something we can take from this. We have a higher low on the month. Obviously, Bitcoin, many others, have a lower low on their month right now. So that could signal, I guess I can't even say Bitcoin dominance weakness, because you're excluding the top 10. So you're excluding 90% of the market cap. You could maybe say comparatively, the under top 10 are looking more bullish. Maybe, versus the whole space. At least for now. That does not look good, though. Ooh, that does not look good at all. I am not bullish on this. I think you go back to that trend line. You're going right back down there to the 9%. Let's do this for fun. Boom. There it is, right back to the trend line. 8.64% is my prediction. I don't really know what I'm doing with that, though. Let me know, Bean Juice. Let me know. I do not know what I'm doing with it. Daily has a green hammer. Okay, we'll go to the day. All right. Interesting that we do have a hammer here, because Bitcoin has seen that big wick today. Not quite a green candle, but I'll say that's not really what I expected. I would have almost expected this to be still trading at its daily low. Okay, we can say that things not in the top 10 are bouncing a little harder right now. I mean, like in the last 3-day comparison window, they're seeing a little harder bounces. I tried my best. I don't know what to do with this. I'm also still trying to like brush off the hangover from the 4th of July. Hope you guys had a good 4th of July. Anytime you say I'm stoned, it sounds like I'm stoned. Well, anytime after my live streams, that'd be a good bet. What's up, Bad Baptist? Dominance putting in. Yeah, I wanted to look at dominance. You got me all fired up on dominance. I've never inverted the dominance chart, which is where my brain instantly went when, was it Bean Juice? Bean Juice said others.dominance. This is where my mind went. I've never inverted it. Have you guys ever inverted dominance? It's kind of like, obviously it's the same chart, but this, it just hits me different. Hits me different. Kind of looks bearish when you invert it, doesn't it? Maybe it looks bearish when it's not inverted. When are we going to hit 60? I've been waiting for Bitcoin dominance to hit 60 for years now. This shit's still just flagging out, lollygagging. As if no one's waiting on you, Bitcoin. We're all waiting. Hurry up. Flagging out, moving sideways, lower highs, higher lows. It looks like on the dump, and see, this is weird because it goes against what we were looking at with the others dominance, is Bitcoin looks like it wicked higher on dominance during the sell-off, which is not unusual, but has settled back down. Actually, no, it does. It actually is in alignment with this, saying that things not in the top 10 are comparatively bouncing stronger right now, at least since intraday lows. Oh man, when you invert OTHERS.D, it really hits differently. Yeah, this is a dangerous ticker. This is a dangerous ticker to say. I'm never saying that again. There's gonna be bad sound bites out there. It's Coins Chick here. How you doing, darling? I saw someone say hello, but I didn't see her. There she is. Hello, everyone. Hello. Just call me Joe. You're over on the mobile stream. How you doing, man? Yeah, it's Friday. It's Friday. Thank God. It's Friday, and Bitcoin is going back to that 50 RSI on the 5-minute. 1 minute looking droopy. You know what? It's the 5th of July. I'm sure you guys are feeling it. I'm feeling it. I'm trying my best. You listened to me for 45 minutes ramble. I apologize. Hopefully it was some good rambling. We'll find out after the live. You should join the Discord. Discord.gg/TomCrown. You should subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I know not a ton of new people here, but we got a few. Welcome, fam. You're at the right place. You should check out Meta Signals and LuxAlgo, our sponsors. Video in the video description below. I have links. You'll get free trials for either of them if you use my link. They're great products and tools. I highly recommend them. I think I'm done. I'm tired, guys. Join the Discord. Chat with me. I'll be in there chatting today. We'll see how we're feeling later tonight if we have a little partido in there. But join the Discord. Subscribe. You'll get exclusive VIP access if you use any of the links in the video description below. And I think that's it, guys. I will see you on Monday or over the weekend if we start seeing some spicy spice. We'll have a weekend stream. That's it. Love you, fam. Be easy. Remember, never make a decision in panic. Take a break. Walk away. The chart will be here when you come.